Hey everybody, what is going on? Um, Welcome to another installment of Tom's World Live. Um First one I've done in a little while. I don't think it's been that long, actually. Um, but today I come to you in more of a solemn way than I have before. Yesterday, a very good friend of mine, Jim Scott, had had passed on. He went through many medical complications over the last, I don't even know how many months. It's just been like one thing after another with him, but he kept powering through no matter how depressed he got. He and I had many conversations, and he was he was going through a lot, and it finally got the better of him um, in the last 5 days. Um, Sunday night, he had his second heart attack, and they have no way of knowing exactly how long he was out by the time they got him, from what I understand. And it it caused some severe lack of brain activity from what they could see, and he just he fought for a long time. Even before this second heart attack, he was fighting, medically, mentally, emotionally, and I had many talks with him where I had to help bring lift up his spirits, basically, and and I always did a good job of doing so, because I mean, I can be corny, funny, and everything. And for those of you that know me personally, um, know that I can help bring a smile to somebody's face when they need it, and even when they don't need it. um, but I was always there for Jim, um, except the night that he did have his second heart attack. He did call me that night, but I was already heading to bed, and I didn't answer the call, and that's something I'm gonna have to have with me for the rest of my life. Um, I just figured, I'll just call him tomorrow after work. Um, but it was too late by then. By the time I got home from work, I'd already seen that his sister had posted some stuff, and it's just a shame that I didn't get to have that one last conversation with him. And we always regret that. When we think when somebody that's close to us has passed, that we didn't get to have that one last conversation with them, or that one last handshake, or that one last hug, or in the case of like a relative or a parent, that one last time of saying I love you, or something. We always carry something with us when someone close to us passes, and and that's going to be what I carry with me. But I also carry with me tons and tons of memories with Jim Scott. I have known this man since, I guess, I was about 16 or 17 years old. I'm 47 now, so basically 30 years. Um, I remember when I first heard about Jim Scott, um, understanding that Jim Scott, while I mean, he was a great person as an adult. As a teenager, he was a bit intense, um, and I remember hearing about him, and then finally meeting him on a bus. And there's a whole story that goes with that I'm not going to get into on here. Um, but and from that point on, we were friends. And then I didn't see him for a little while, and then it turned out that he was actually friends with another person that I had been friends with for even longer. This guy Mike Hercom, who I met him earlier in life. He lived in the suburbs of Philly, in an area that I grew up in off and on, and he moved here to Philly. And hey, Carrie, love you. Um, he had he had just popped up one day when I was over at Mike's house, and he's like, "Yeah, my friend Jim's going to be stopping by." I'm like, "Oh, all right." And then he stopped by. I was like, "I know you." And and from that point on, we pretty much never really lost touch. I mean, it may have been from for a couple months here and there, but sometimes maybe a year. but for the most part, we've always kept in touch. And I could say the same is true with another friend of mine, Chris Mallon, who very well may be coming on here to speak about Jim as well. It was just a complete and total shock to me because I did talk to him on Sunday earlier in the day, and he seemed fine when I talked to him. But then Sunday night is when his incident happened, and it's just such a devastating blow. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, Jim was a pain in the ass. He really was. And I know I don't normally curse on my channel at all, but that's a light curse, I guess. But he may have been a pain in the ass, but I loved him. You know what I mean? We got along great. He always showed nothing but respect. In the process of building this channel that you're watching this on now, he's been a supporter from day one, and he's always been there when I did live feeds, whether or not it was a live feed on here or on BB3 TV or whatever. If I let him know that I was going live, he was there. He was commenting. He was supporting me. He was just an all around great person, despite the fact that he could be a pain in the ass. But that was part of his charm, you know. I don't know. He I mean, if you saw the thumbnail for this video, then you saw his picture. If not, I can add it here and bring up his picture next to me. You just got to give me a moment. Okay, maybe I can't. I mean, I probably can. I lack the patience for it. But right now, I'm going to invite Chris, and Chris, if you can come on, cool. If you feel you can't, that is not a problem at all. It is totally your call. But I've sent you the link. All you got to do is click on the link. Well, I think you've talked on StreamYard before, so you should know how to go through it. You might have to give permission for your camera and your audio. But I will definitely bring you on so that we can both talk about him. And it's just so weird to think that he's not going to be calling me at some point tonight or tomorrow or something like that, because I mean, we did talk a lot, and it is going to be a change in my life knowing that I won't ever hear "oh dude" ever again, except for, I mean, I have audio of him saying "oh dude" in one of my messages with him. He wanted me to put that on my soundboard and include it in the live feeds that I do. But the last audio message that he sent me, I could definitely bring up, and it's one that I am proud to still have, to hear his voice. I just have to look it up. Give me a moment here. Oh, Chris Mallon's here.
I'm here. I made it.
Who is?
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, brother.
You hear me, right?
I'm an old timer. You know, I don't know this technology stuff.
I'm trying to find the last audio message I got from Jim. Like, we did a lot of texting, but the last audio message I got from him was very cool. If I can find it. Okay. Well, see, the fact that he had two different profiles kind of screws me up.
Right.
Because he messaged me on both.
Well, I know the one he got hacked in.
Yeah, and then he got it back. And then he still
he did get it back. I didn't know if he got it back or not.
All right, so it had to have been on just the Jim Scott one, not the Jimmy Scott. I
think it's Jimmy Scott.
Well, the audio message I got from him was on the Jim Scott one, so I just got to find it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, dude. He still lives.
Yep. There was another one before that, if I can find it.
You got to get a hold of Johnny and get the text off Johnny's phone. Went back and forth with them too. Dude, it was like a comical show with them too.
I can imagine. Yeah, I can't find the other one.
If Jimmy's up there listening right now, Johnny wants his brownies with walnuts.
He loved his nuts.
Yeah.
God,
we
can't
nicknamed
find it.
them like the past couple of years. My lady friend of mine called him Squirrely.
Oh, that's really
And
weird
so
considering that's
since we
the
call
name
him
of one of his
Squirrely, I got him
ex-girlfriends.
Nest last year for his birthday.
Wasn't that the name of one of his ex-girlfriends too? Squirrel?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think it was. It was a chick that lived in Croydon.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know about that one.
Oh yeah, that was back when I was about 18 or 19, somewhere in there. So he was like 17 or 18. Something like
Right.
that. There is an audio message I have from him on somewhere, and I heard it earlier. It almost made me cry, but I can't find it in the messages right now. He said, I don't care what anybody says about you, man. I love you.
Yeah, I got voicemails from him, but they're not very good voicemails when we're like having our disagreements.
Nicole said,
but we're always like that.
Nicole said, I always called him Butthead, and he had a few crazy girls. Do you remember Squirrel, Nicole?
No, I remember the blind girl.
He had a blind girlfriend?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He dated a blind girl for a minute there. I was laughing about that. Like, dude, really?
At first he said blonde, and I was going to say, uh-oh, are we talking about the chick he was with back when I lived at Post and Paddock?
No. Oh, yeah. Dumbo Drop. Come on, guys. We're going to drive. Dumbo Drop, can we borrow your car to go down the way? Yeah.
Go down to Lee and Indy?
Yep, I don't think we should have gone those fake 20s.
Yeah. I remember one time somebody threw like a brick at the back window when we were coming out of there.
Yeah. Remember when we got shot? The window got shot. It wasn't a brick. It was a gunshot.
Oh, all right. Maybe I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, it was a gunshot.
I know I cracked up her car.
I did like 90 up that little back street, man. I was like, hang on, boys. We're out of here.
I cracked up her car over at Franklin Mills. She let me borrow her car. Her and Jim were like sleeping on the floor in the apartment, and Diane needed to go pick up her check from Arby's.
Right.
And we borrowed the car to go over there, and I ran a stop sign, and I kind of crashed into somebody, and then we just drove back to the apartment. He followed us, and then her and her dad had to deal with it. He was not happy, man.
I can imagine.
The next time she was over, and this is going to sound really mean.
Right.
and I shudder to even talk about it, but you got to understand that this was a chick who overstayed her welcome.
Over her welcome.
And we only dealt with her for the sake of Jim. Even that wore thin. And one time we were sitting there and somebody was smoking a cigar, and she said, "Oh, I hate the smell of cigars." Every one of us lit up a cigar and formed a circle around her. Until she finally left. That was the last time I saw her, I think, as a matter of fact.
Right.
And I don't even know.
I remember doing the streak when we were doing the streaking with the sock on down the hallway and knock zooming.
Oh man! Wow. Now my subscribers know about that one.
Sorry, we were a little wild when we were younger.
A little bit.
Tommy had a little wild streak in with my bad influence since I was the oldest one out of the group.
Yeah, and Jim was pretty much the youngest. I mean, he was only
he was the baby.
Than me, but
I had 6 years on him, so I'm the old fart.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, I can't figure it out like how I'm not gonna be able to. Sorry to cry. Not getting a phone call from him anymore. I'm so used to that, like 6 texts or 6 phone calls every day from him, like something.
Yeah, this past weekend, he, even though he knew I was in Jersey, I mean, the boy
Yeah.
called and called and called, and I texted him. I said, "Dude, I'm in Jersey with Steph. We're away. I'm in a casino. I'm not going to be able to hear you." And then he would
Yeah.
still call and call. I'm like, "What are you doing, man?" So that's why I called him on Sunday. I went out and made a quick video at the garden, and which hasn't done too well on my channel, but that's okay. It's still a video. People watched it. People enjoyed it, commented on it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I talked to him after that, and we talked for a little while, and then he said he had to lay down because he was feeling tired. And then he did call me back that night, but it was like when I was on my way to bed. So I just thought, no, I'll talk to you tomorrow. But hindsight being what it is, I should have answered that call.
I'm glad that me and him ended up things. We mended things that our little problems that me and him had. We had some personal issues that went on, but
well, you two were like a couple.
We made up for it and everything. I'm glad I got to be there for him on his birthday when he had the first heart attack and show up on his birthday there, because he didn't have anybody there for him for his birthday. Right. And I'm so glad I got to spend that time with him that day. He didn't. It was funny because he got home. He's like, "Dude, I didn't even realize you were in the room with me." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, you were talking to me the whole time." He's like, "Dude, I don't know."
Dude,
he's like, remember. But then he's like, when I got home, he's like, "I realized it was you that was there in the room with me." I'm like, "Yeah, it was me, brother. I wasn't going to let you be alone on your birthday, bro." He's such a good guy.
My mom calling me, and why won't it silent? My mom is calling me. Mom, if you're watching, I'll call you.
He had the biggest heart in the world. That's one thing I can say. And I used to always joke with him. I'm like, "Dude, you're the gift that keeps giving." Which is now I can actually say he's the gift that keeps giving, because his 2 kidneys saved 2 people's lives yesterday. So
yep.
I'm very, very, very proud of him that he was able to donate his kidneys like that to save 2 lives out there. So I know he's out there still living a little bit.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw. Well, I know you saw it because you liked the picture that I posted of the sky.
Yeah.
I
have to. Beautiful.
I have to bring up something and show it to you. This is going to be crazy, though.
Okay.
I just got to bring up my picture here, and then I got to open it in a new tab so that I can blow it up.
Oh, by the way, crowd, I'm the one that helped Tom find the abandoned buildings over there, the water pump station. I know these guys only got a butt view of me the whole way.
Yeah, we saw Chris's butt a lot.
Yeah, so Jimmy was making fun of that. He's like, "Dude, I never seen your butt so much."
So if I share screen here, if you look right in the middle of that, tell me that doesn't look like a face. If you look at it,
yeah,
with like curly hair on top, and a big ear.
Yeah, I see it.
I showed that to my dad earlier to show him what the sky looked like, and I went, "Wait a minute, what the hell is that?"
Right?
And the mouth looks like it's open, going. Almost.
It's funny. I was like on my way into work last night, because I started work at 5:30, all the way up in Tom's River, and I just tuned out my boss and everything, and put my earphones and was listening to like songs on my iHeart radio, and here there's a song I knew he really liked, and it was just as the sunset was coming and setting and everything, and I was looking out the van window and everything. So it was really awesome. It gave me like a little memory of him, like when that tune was playing and we were hanging out.
Do you see what Nicole said?
No.
You don't see that on the bottom of the screen?
No, I'm you know me, I got to get my glasses. I'm old. I'm blind.
He saved more than 2. So I guess they were able to harvest more than just the kidneys. I'm taking it.
Awesome. I'm so glad he got to do that. He is such a little hero, even though and I know he fought and battled like the past couple months and everything with him being ill and everything, and I'm so proud of the way he fought, the way he did,
Whoa.
had
You're like lagging or breaking up or something. Uh-oh. Your signal is like really weak.
Yeah.
It's like I can hear every other
Tours
syllable.
I'm taking, everybody. Sorry, I'm taking it through a tour in my basement. Yeah, it looks like a murder basement. But
well, there you go.
There we go. I gotta go outside doors for this. So, oh no, the neighbor's gonna get to see me
better now
too.
and see you a lot better.
Yeah, for some reason, Metro really stinks. I highly recommend people do not get Metro.
I have T-Mobile, but I'm not on that right now. Obviously, I'm at my computer.
And I get these private calls coming in all day. So, but yeah, he was such a good guy, and I'm glad that he's been able to save more than 2 lives. And I'm proud. Man, he went out like a little hero, like he did.
He sure did.
He had such the biggest heart and such a kind of soul. And even though we picked on him and everything,
we picked on everybody.
It was like a brotherly pick and love with him. We always had. But he was a tough little guy. I'm proud of him. Kia, dude.
Wow. Nicole just said, "Can you add me and I'll tell you all." I didn't think she wanted to come on.
Yes.
But Nicole, I can definitely send you the link. Like I said to Chris, since this is going to be your first time coming into a StreamYard, you're probably going to have to allow, it'll come up. You'll have to allow access to your camera and your audio. But once you do that, you should be able to pop in.
Yeah, it's easy.
I will send you the link. And we'll get you on here. Let's see, link sent. But yeah, it's just been a blow, man. I mean, after the first time, I remember when he had his first heart attack, you had reached out to me like at 7 o'clock in the morning. I was just about to start my day at work, and you told me that he was gone. I was like, what?
Yeah.
How the hell is he gone? What the hell happened? And then like 2 hours later, you're like, oh no, they resuscitated him. I'm like, okay, after 2 hours of being all depressed.
Right.
And Mama Two Books said she's sorry. So thank you, Patricia. And Nicole is here.
All right.
She is.
There she is. Hi, Nicole.
How you doing? I know it's been tough.
I know we're all going to have a big piece of our soul missing.
It's like your audio isn't coming through somehow.
Can you all hear me?
Oh, now, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
So they were able to harvest more than just the kidneys?
I should have already did that. I should already did that.
But I mean, like it was you said it was more than 2, so like they were able to save more than just the kidneys?
They were able to save the kidneys.
All right. Oh.
My mom
lost her.
No,
I got too many things going on here.
That's okay. Take your time.
I don't know which one I'm supposed to.
I mean, as long as you can hear us.
Hey, if I'm not technically advanced, Nicole, you should be able to whip through this. Nah, I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, my dad called me today. He was calling me for Jimmy's Social Security number so they could take care of everything at Burns with his cremation. But Jimmy was able to save, with his kidneys, he was able to save 2 people. They were able to harvest some other stuff from him. I don't know what. He wouldn't get into details with me. But Jimmy will also be able to save a burn victim. They're going to grab his skin, and he'll be able to save a burn victim.
That's awesome.
So he's saving more than 2 lives.
That is totally awesome. When I told my mom, because I've been talking to her a lot in the last couple of days, and she also knew Jim, not really well, but well enough. And I was explaining everything that was going on. She wanted to be let known everything as everything was happening. So I kept her informed. And when I told her that he was a donor and he was going to be helping somebody else, she said that it was truly a beautiful thing that he was able to do that. And it really is.
Well, originally he wanted his body donated to science, but we figured it was easier to donate his organs and whatever else he was able to donate to save somebody else.
Good.
Exactly.
Good.
And part of him still lives on.
Exactly. I mean,
Helping
I'll never
somebody
know
else.
who. I don't know. I'll never know who he saved, but I just know that he saved he saved a few people. So if their families
I'm
can,
glad.
as long as their families can enjoy their loved ones again, and he's able to do that for them, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
Amen.
I mean, I miss him.
Amen.
I miss him like crazy.
Yeah, I miss him calling me all the time.
All
I
right.
mean, I sat and had so many, sitting here right here in this chair, had so many conversations with him that lasted 2, 3, 4 hours sometimes, where he would just be
Yeah.
venting to me about everything he's going through. And in the same time, I'd have him cracking up like crazy, just talking about old times and everything.
I just want everybody to know that Jimmy did not die of drugs,
No, he did not.
alcohol.
No. No.
Because most people that knew Jimmy knew about his drug addiction at one time, and I want people to know that Jimmy did not die of drugs.
No.
Jimmy died of a heart attack because Jimmy was born 3 months premature, a hole in the heart, 1.5 lung function. He lived the first 2 years of his life in the hospital. My mother and father fought to save his life. So, I mean, he fought coming into this world. He fought going out of this world. He lived for an hour after they took those tubes out of him.
I'm glad he
And I was told that he was able to hear us. The last thing that goes on a person is their hearing. So that's why he was crying when he heard my voice yesterday, because he heard me.
Yeah.
Truth be told, when I was there alone after Chris had left, I talked to him, obviously, as much as I could, except for when the nurses came in, because then I felt weird. But before I left, I told him, I said, listen, I said, dude, if you're going to wake up, you better do it soon. And I said, but if you're planning on leaving, I said, just know that everybody here still loves you. And I just went on this whole rant, and out of his left eye, I saw another tear. So I know he heard me, despite the fact that they said that there was like little to no brain activity. But I mean, that stands to reason when they had him knocked out. You know what I mean? I mean,
But
when you're knocked out,
the activity they were looking for, they couldn't find. I mean, they pinched him. They tried to inflict pain on him to see if they could get any movement out of him. His brain was dead. The movements that we seen yesterday was just the nerves in his brain, his nerves in his body telling him just moving. Right. Jimmy was already he was dead as of Sunday when he got in there.
Okay.
Jimmy was brain dead. Jimmy his life was already gone.
Did you see that picture that I brought up?
Yeah.
Tell me that's not him just sitting there in the middle of the sky. I mean, his mouth is open as if to say, "Oh, dude."
What did I say? What was my comment in that picture?
You said that was him.
That was Jimmy.
And then it took until I showed my dad that picture this morning on my phone, because when you look at it on the computer, you can't see it as clearly as you can on my phone, and I'd show it on the camera, but it's not going to come through right. But when you look at it on my phone, everything is so much more contrasted that like that part stuck out to me. I went, wait a minute, what the hell is that? And I zoomed in on it. I swear to God, it almost looks like a drawing I made of him like years ago. Just to mess with him, because he was coming over to,
I remember that drawing.
He was coming over to Doreen's house, another person who was long since passed. And we knew he was coming. And I did a drawing of him on like MS Paint on her computer, and we printed it out, said no gyms allowed, and put it on the front door.
I remember that picture. You showed it to me.
Weren't you and Mike supposed to make a comic book about him?
Oh, probably.
I felt bad for Mike's mom last night when I was talking to her.
I haven't talked to her in quite a while. She hasn't reached out to me.
Well,
Um,
she's dealing with a lot. She just fell recently, hit her head
oh
on
yeah,
her bureau
I saw all that.
because she said to me that she's been meaning to ask Chris about the kid that used to live up the street from her. What was his name?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I
But
don't remember much of the 90s.
this was
Yeah,
when
well,
Jerry was still living there. That's when Jerry was still living there too.
oh Christ, Jerry.
Oh, yeah, right.
I knew him and Mike
Okay.
long before they moved to Philly. And dealt
Yeah,
with
you knew
drama
them
from
from
both of them.
Croydon.
Yep.
I'm running into my room to go get my coffee real quick because it's cold outside.
It's chilly.
I may lose signal.
I tried to make a video today. I was telling Nicole, I tried to make a video today in homage of Jim because one of the favorite places that he liked when I did videos of was the woods that are like back here behind my house, and that's where the van was that we all used to hang out at and drink when we were teenagers. And I tried to find the van, I just couldn't do it. Everything was just so overgrown, I couldn't get to it. So I just abandoned the video, and I decided, you know what, I'll just go live today and pay homage to a fallen brother who will never be forgotten. He never was forgot, even in the times that we weren't talking. I still told stories about him, and I will forever.
Yes.
There are so many funny
That's what I was
stories.
saying. Your brother was the gift that kept on giving. I mean, we had
Yep.
a lot of fun stories with him.
I mean, a lot of those stories are not suitable for my channel.
No.
Oh, I know that. I do need y'all to keep checking on Johnny because he's not taking this too good.
Oh yeah, I plan on going by there.
I'm going up tomorrow to see Johnny. I promised Johnny I'd be up there tomorrow.
When I talked to him, when I was texting him last night, he was so upset. He said, I'm in my room and I'm looking over and I can't see his bedroom light on. He goes, I don't even want to be here anymore.
Here, you want to hear something funny? Me and Johnny were like going through like their text back and forth. we were giggling our tushes off the other night. And as we're doing it, Jimmy's phone called Johnny's phone. Jimmy's phone is up in his room. I'd answered it and it went to Jimmy's voicemail, but Jimmy's phone called Johnny's. We don't understand it. So we left a little voice message and told him we loved him and we're gonna miss him. So when you guys get his phone, you're gonna hear that little voicemail on his phone from us. But it was so weird that, and then I kept on trying to light a cigarette over there, and it kept on going out on me. I'm like, come on, Jimmy, stop messing with me for real. He was, in spiritual way, I think he was trying to joke with me and let me know he's okay.
He told you all he was going to come back.
Right.
He told you all your life, the whole time he known you, that he was coming back to hold your ass.
He would.
He always said that. He told Johnny, I couldn't tell you how many times he's told Johnny that when me and Cliff had been up there, he sat at the table and he looked at Johnny and he said, you better knock it off or I'll come back and haunt the hell out of you when I die.
Right.
And I've had conversations with him as well where I told him that I really, really feel like Mike has been messing with me for months and months and months. Stupid things like I'm getting clothes out of the dryer and the same sock keeps falling over and over and over. I'm like, come on now, leave me the hell alone already. Go bother somebody else.
Right.
Stupid little things like that. Or every time I hit my shin on the thing on the back of the truck at work. It's like, I don't know, stupid little things. I just feel like the first thing I think of is Hercom. Hercom and Shannon Dixon.
Oh my God.
They messed with me constantly when they were around. So why would they stop now?
That's because you made her kick a bowling ball.
It wasn't me. I didn't roll it at her. It was one of the two guys that lived at the frat house. I don't even remember their names. But it was the younger of the two guys. And me and Mike in the back going, no.
I know Jimmy almost got his butt kicked so many times up at the 49th Street Galleria.
Well,
he would show up calling me a bitch and all these guys would turn around and go after him and tell him that's not how you talk to your sister. And he would tell them, shut the hell up. This is how I talk to my sister.
Well,
Like
I
I-
mean,
Yeah.
it's not for anybody to tell like a brother and sister how to talk to each other either. You know.
Well,
Just like
anybody
that.
knows, everybody who knew my brother and me knew he always called me bitch. He always, no matter what, hey, bitch, or
Yeah.
fuck you, bitch. Fuck and bitch were his
Oh,
two
Tom,
favorite
you get a
words.
lot of bad language on your thing show today.
I'm
It's all
sorry.
right. It's not me, so that's okay.
I'm sorry.
See, I said tush at least.
Well, I did say ass earlier. I said he was a pain in the ass, but he was someone that was loved. But
yeah.
he definitely could be a pain in the ass sometimes.
I used to
But
tease
we
him
all
and say,
can.
you're like
Sometimes.
hemorrhoids I can't get rid of.
What do you mean sometimes?
Okay, most times. But
Forget it.
we
He's my brother. I mean, I lived with him most of my life. I mean, he was a pain in the ass all the time. Couldn't
Yeah.
tell you how
I'm-
many times he came home from the bar telling my mom, "Oh, I only had 3. I swore Jimmy couldn't count past 3." And walk in the house saying, "Oh, I only had 3," but yet you're reeking of freaking shots.
I
I
would
mean-
I
never
didn't
do
feel
that.
many tequila, I promise.
My mom would always say to him, "Jimmy, do you know how to count past 3? Because we all know you had more than 3. You've been at the
Right.
bar all afternoon,
I only remember 3. Right?
pretty much."
Well, you
after
did go to Philadelphia School District after all.
Hey,
We all
so did I.
we all did.
Not
What are you
me.
talking about?
Not me. I went to Ben Salem.
This is to
And therein lies the explanation. No, I'm just kidding.
him.
You know, Ben Salem, I love you. You
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I'm the
Sorry.
oddball out. I'm Ben Salem.
Sorry, we're dealing with a tropical storm here right now.
All right.
Yeah, I know. I hope you guys are all right.
That's my backyard.
Oh, well,
That's
all
a
right.
big backyard.
We
Yeah.
built all this.
That's awesome.
All right. That's nice. Better than Philly.
And just so everybody knows, once I get myself calmed down and I get my grief and stuff out of the way, I will be quitting smoking because I will not wind up like my brother and my mom.
Hey, man.
It's been in my
I've
mind
been
too.
doing that at work now. Like, I've been only smoking 3 cigarettes a day, and I've been cutting them out halfway, and I just...
I'll be
I'm
the
getting-
first
I
one to
got
tell
like a-
everybody. I'll be the first one to tell everybody. I was always the one saying, no, not at me, not me. But after watching my mom and my brother go through the same things, and after sitting last night and thinking about it, the same way everything turned out to be the same as my mom when I sat down and started thinking about it. The first time my mom was in the hospital, it was with the oxygen. She was on it for 10 days. They told me that they had to take the tube out of her or else the bacteria and everything was going to grow up in the tubes. And on the 10th day, when they pulled the tube out of her, she started breathing on her own. All she kept saying to the nurse is, "I know my baby boy was here. All I want to do is see my baby boy." The second time was when she didn't come home from the hospital, and the same thing happened with Jimmy. It was like everything
Yeah.
just repeated itself. And like
Wow.
I told him, when I told him back when he had the first one back in August, I kept telling him I didn't want to relive this nightmare over again, that don't pick up another cigarette. Please don't pick up another cigarette.
Well, this
But-
was his second time in the hospital for that, but not his second time in the hospital in the last few months by far.
Not for the last few years.
Yeah,
Because he's been in there.
No.
He's been in there plenty of times being incubated because of the cigarettes because he couldn't breathe.
Yep.
Yeah, last Saturday when I hung out with him, he showed me the paperwork. He was in the hospital over 24 times in the past 2 months.
But then everybody forgets
I didn't know
too. A couple years ago, Jimmy was eating chicken and he swallowed chicken bones.
I remember that.
And he wound up having to go get them removed and they wound up putting staples in them from what he told me.
And I remember I saw him
We'll
one
talk.
time. I saw him one time over at it's called Jefferson Torresdale campus now, but it used to
Yeah.
be Frankfurt Hospital. Tommy was in there because my son, because he was he had kidney stones and he was going through a bad time with it. And then I'm just sitting there with him and his mom's talking to him, and I happened to look out the door at the right time, and I saw him being wheeled by on a bed, and I went, wait a minute. I went out into the hallway. I yelled down the hallway, "Jim!" And the guy stopped pushing him. I said, "What the hell are you doing here?" And he just said he was having breathing problems and stuff like that. I said, "Well, you all right?" He said, "Yeah, I'll be all right." He said, "I just got to get a treatment and stuff." And I was like, "Well, damn, fancy seeing you here."
Yeah, but yeah, I remember. I just know Jimmy's been in and out of the hospital for the last 2 years,
Yeah, a
A
lot.
lot.
And I've
and
talked to
most
him,
of
and
it
I've
was
told
because of
him,
his breathing.
I said, "You got to listen to what they're saying." And he was, for a little while, from what I understand, he was trying his hardest to
I
stop
know.
smoking.
I know this towards the end of this time he was.
He was having a rough time with it here and there, but for the most part, from what I understand, he was keeping up on it more so than he had been before.
But everybody has to understand Jimmy started smoking when I was 11. So Jimmy must have been, I guess by the time Jimmy started, I was maybe 12. So Jimmy was about 11, 12 years old when he started smoking.
Thanks,
And he
James.
already, and he already had
Yeah.
he already had medical problems. Oh, excuse me.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot.
I knew about like all the problems he had when he was born and everything, especially like hanging out there with mom, drinking coffees in the mornings when I was laid off and hanging out with your mom. She would tell me all the stories like about him, the first 2 years of all that operations that he went through with the feet, everything.
Yeah.
You're a little battler,
He got bacterial
little fighter.
meningitis when he was a newborn in the hospital because they didn't test blood back then, and he wound up with bacterial meningitis. And my dad turned around and told the doctors and the nurses he was not to get any more blood from the Red Cross. If they needed blood, they were to take it from him.
I take it they were the
Okay.
same type.
Like I said, there was a lot about Jimmy that a lot of people didn't know. I'm the
Yeah.
only person. I am the only person. I mean, I knew more about Jimmy than my own mother did. And Jimmy admitted that to me just last week, the week before. He said, "You are the only person that knows everything truly about me." He goes, "You knew what I
Yeah.
was thinking. You knew how I was going to act. You're my baby brother.
You knew
Yeah, I'm
every
going to know
movie
all
we
that."
could even make before you even made it.
And I mean, there was a time after my mom passed away that I didn't talk to him. I was angry with him. And just within the last 3 years, me and him just started getting a relationship again and getting close.
Yeah.
And it kills me. And especially since I didn't answer that phone last weekend when he tried calling me all weekend. If
Yeah.
I would have just answered the phone, I would have heard "I love you" one more time from him.
I know
Yeah, he
exactly how
called
you
me
feel.
Saturday night to have dinner with him Sunday, and I couldn't make it up there because my car's been having problems with my car since I took it down to Kentucky earlier this summer. And I was like, I really can't get up there because, I'm about to lose a front wheel off my alignment and everything. And he understood. He was like, all right, no problem. He's, we'll catch up maybe over the week and during the week. And I didn't get the chance to even have that part of the week to even come up and see him because I've been going up and mowing their lawn for him and Johnny since they've both been in bad health and
Yeah.
helping them out like as much as I can. So, and
I offered that, but they told me you were already on that. So
yeah.
Well,
I made a little deal with them
just so
to
everybody
help
knows,
them out.
in December when I come up, we're going to have a celebration of life for him at Danielle's house. She's already planning the
I'm down.
menu.
yep. So
All
anybody
right,
that's
I'm down.
watching this that knows and contact one of the three of us.
I don't know.
And let us
I
know.
don't know exactly in December when I'm coming up, but I know it's probably going to be either the first or the second week of December because I want to be back home here for Christmas.
Understandable.
I don't want to be traveling during Christmas. So it'll probably be the first or the second week of December, but I'll keep everybody updated on Facebook, and I'll let Danielle know. This way, all you can let everybody know because he's got friends I've never even met before, and
Yeah.
that's why
Oh
I
my
put
God,
it out there. That's why I put it out there that I
Oh.
want to meet these people so that I can hear the stories from them. Because I talked to Matt last night, his friend Monk, the truck
think
driver.
I know of him, but I don't. Oh, you know what? I think I did meet him once.
Oh, he's a character. He is so funny.
I think I
But-
did meet him once because I remember Jim calling me and asking me about where he could park his truck
Yeah,
that would be near that they could go pick him up or whatever. And I remember a whole conversation about that.
yeah. But he's on it. if I'm not mistaken, this weekend he's spending it up there in Philadelphia with his family. And then he's supposed to be going to Florida for the disaster relief. He's got a truck. He named his truck Jimmy in memory of Jimmy. He names every one of his trucks, but the truck he's driving to Florida for the relief, he already named it Jimmy. He's supposed to take pictures of it and send it to me. He's supposed to stop here to see me because he turned around and he said to me last night when I was talking to him on the phone, we were hanging up and he goes, well, I'll talk to you later, sis. And then he goes, is it all right if I call you sis? I said, it sure in hell is.
Well, you know, if I named
Awesome.
something after him, it would not be Jimmy. There are plenty of other things that I could name it all dude. I could name it ears. I mean, there's.
Y'all know how he got the name ears, right?
Because he has big ears.
No, do you know who gave him that name?
No.
No.
Do y'all remember Richie Nagel?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where Jimmy got the name Ears from.
I think
there we go. Now I know what I'm gonna do. The kayak that he went kayaking with me in, I'm gonna put the USS Ears on it.
Go.
Because Jimmy used to go around in middle school telling everybody that his ears were fake, that they were made of rubber.
I didn't know that.
And then he would pull them out, and they blow his cheeks out, and he would look like a monkey.
Yeah. Oh my God. I got Mike Hercom had a picture of that I took back when the apartment at Grand Avenue.
He sure did. I remember it.
I wish I had a copy of that picture. It was so funny. Well, and he had the big wavy hair thing going on at the time.
Well, I'm going to go through all my pictures. I got tons of pictures of Jimmy. I'm going to make a poster board and everything and bring it to Danielle's house so everybody can see him from the time Jimmy was born until the time he died.
I'll bring a bottle of Tequila Rose.
No. Now my new thing is Dr. McKillicuddy's.
There you go.
Well, listen, I'm going to end the live, but stay here, guys, because we'll still talk. It just won't be live.
Okay, sounds good, man.
But I want to thank everybody for coming and joining us. Once again, Jim will always live on with every one of us. His
gonna miss my brother.
Too big of a presence to ever forget. And I know he would not believe me if I told him that, but it's true.
I just wish you knew how much he was loved.
Yeah.
Well, I think he did on some level.
No, because when I talked to him 2 weeks ago, he said to me, because I said to him, I said, you do know you're loved. He goes, I just wish sometimes I felt that way. He said, because I don't feel like I'm loved. I said, well, just remember.
His own head.
But I told him, I said, just remember, no matter what, if nobody loves you, I do.
Well, he knew we did too. We always said it to each other, Like that was the last thing he would always say. Last two things he would always say to me when we were on the phone, and I'll wrap it up with this: is first thing he would do is say, "Make sure you tell Dad." I said, "Oh, dude," and then he'd say, "All right, I love you, brother." I said, "I love you too." That was the end of the conversation. Like every conversation, and that's why I still have the audio of him saying, "Oh, dude." He wanted me to add that to the soundboard that I used to use all the time, and I'll play that one more time. I just gotta find it again. Let's see here. It's somewhere in here. There's a lot of text. You gotta imagine.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah. I told him last week when I was talking, I was like, dude, you text me more than a girlfriend does. I was like, you're my new girlfriend.
There he is. And then he said, now you got it. You can put it on your soundboard.
The legend. The legend.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Once again, you guys make sure you stay here. And
we'll do.
I'll end this the same way I end my videos. Make sure you stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.